back to another episode of Suds and Cinema. My name's Kyle.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Josh.
Today we're going to be reviewing Coffee Kareem as well as Vivarium. And this is episode 14.
Now we're doing our weekly COVID updates. Guys, if you are sick, please stay home. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob, for pointing that out. I don't think we've heard that yet. So, very important PSA.
Well, I just had someone come in who knew they were COVID positive. Came in anyway. Possibly infecting everyone, all us essentials who are working.
That's Jackson for you.
Yeah, and then proceeded to walk outside and throw up in our parking lot, then leave. So
Wow.
we had to clean that up too.
They make you do that?
I didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah, they did not. Farmer says go out there and clean up the puke.
Go clean the puke up in the parking lot.
No, I did not. But we had to clean it, like bleach it.
Yeah,
4
right.
times.
Yeah.
Then I had someone come in and deep clean the entire place. All because someone couldn't stay home and not go outside and infect other people.
And they knew that they were positive.
Yeah, they
which
already
is
knew.
worse than not knowing and accidentally doing it.
Yep. They knew. Didn't care. So
Classic.
stay inside if you're sick.
Yeah, for real.
Stay inside as much as possible.
Send somebody
in
else
general.
to pick something up for you. Like, go through the drive-through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't walk inside.
There's
touch
literally
everything.
a service that will deliver anything to your door now.
We do it.
Yeah, exactly. Rite Aid.
So stop. Well, there we go.
All right, good COVID update. You want to introduce this beer?
You bought it.
Well, that's true. So this was actually supposed to be your pick, wasn't it? But anyway, I was in Grand Rapids, driving through
Beer
Grand
City,
Rapids for
USA.
work. So I thought, hey, why don't we get something that we've never had? You said you've been wanting to try this brewery. It's pretty much brand new.
Yep.
So this is from City Built Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
492. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an Imperial Stout.
49503.
Dang.
Imperial Stout, Cacophony Society.
That's what it's called?
Yeah,
Well, that's a hard
Cacophony Society.
Cacophony Society.
12.5 ABV.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
We got a crowler of it. So
That
Maybe
is,
this is 5 o'clock at
yeah,
night
so
when
there's
we're
no,
recording this
Yeah.
episode.
yeah, so there's no description on there. Let me look it up on Untapped real quick. If you know anything about City Built, now is the time to mention it.
I do recognize it. Looks like the logo is based on the Blue Bridge
Yep.
in downtown.
or a bridge.
Yeah, so this
It's
is
on Monroe Ave. So
yeah, it's right on the river. Okay, so this is from Untapped, the description. It's a triple barrel aged Imperial Stout, aged in rye, wheat, and barley whiskey barrels, then blended. Touch of molasses, turn off society's harsh, discordant mixture of sound and have your taste buds yelled at instead by a cacophony of flavors, aromas, and intangibles.
That's why it's cacophony. Because
Yep.
it's cacophonous.
So we only got one can here, so get it right.
Okay, it's gonna
First
be a good
zero
crowler.
minute
Here it goes,
attempt.
guys.
Ready?
ASMR in 3, 2, 1.
Right in the face too.
Beautiful.
Woof. Boys,
Was it? Is it like?
the smell
I
is.
wonder if it's gonna be anything like a
I
better
got it in my
half
eye, so I'm already
or
hammered.
Curmudgeon's Better Half by Founders. That has molasses.
Right to the
in it.
bloodstream.
Yeah.
Drink it in your
Straight
eye.
to your eye. Avoid that first pass effect.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It smells like
Like
fruit.
Curmudgeon's Better Half.
Yum.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
It is.
I like it. Yeah.
Very velvety.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It has that mouthfeel like KBS does, where it's like velvet on your tongue.
Dark
Yeah.
fruits.
Doesn't taste boozy though, like most, like some stronger.
It kind of reminds me actually of maybe a little bit of Backwoods Bastard.
Can't think of it. It definitely does have a fruity,
Like cherry. No.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is there
black
cherry?
cherry,
Is there cherry in it?
raisin, maybe. Dark fruits.
It's delicious.
It's pretty good. Recommended. This is the first beer.
It's got a
Yeah.
weird after
it coats
effect.
the tongue, but I like it. It has a nice little warmth too that like warms the soul.
Well, it also doesn't taste very hot right now, Kyle, because it's too cold.
Doesn't taste
Stouts.
hot. Oh.
Stouts are supposed to be served at 65, and this came out of the fridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when it
So
warms up,
a
it
little
will.
bit.
It's gonna
Which is-
taste even better.
We should definitely let it warm up a little bit. Don't do you guys and
I think
just
it's
chug
good.
it.
I think it's good cold though.
Yeah, but
pretty
it'll
good.
taste, I guarantee, better when it's warm.
I think it'll have
It'll
more
taste
flavor
different.
warmer, but
It tastes pretty muted.
yeah, the flavor will come out better. But anyway, like I said, this brewery is brand new. When did you say June
Last year,
of
yeah. It's not even a year
2018.
ago. It's not even a year old.
So usually I try to have some information on the brewery itself, but not much to say because these guys are brand new. But I definitely would go back and check out more of their beer.
Oh yeah, I want to try like a different style for sure.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because stouts sometimes can be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Someday,
Not easy, but
Try like an IPA. from them.
someday when we're allowed outside again, maybe we can go to GR. And,
Yeah, I know. All right, well, you guys want to get into these reviews?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First up, let's do Coffee and Cream. Coffee and Cream is directed by Michael Dowse, written by Shane Mack, stars Ed Helms, Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Little, Gardenhigh, Betty Gilpin, and say Ronreiko Lee.
That's about it.
That's about it. Came out this year on Netflix. Let's take a listen to a clip.
What the hell is she doing here?
I thought we could settle this thing like police officers.
Okay, I did lose my temper and say some things that were harsh.
The suspect was not handcuffed properly. I don't know if Choi messed
Wow,
up.
way to take responsibility. Why stop at blaming Choi? Why not blame your PTSD as a result of your ex-wife leaving you to go blow half the Lions practice squad?
That should give you a sense of the abuse that I detailed in the report.
Okay, plot synopsis for Coffee and Kareem reads, 12-year-old Kareem Manning hires a criminal to scare his mom's new boyfriend, police officer James Coffee, but it backfires, forcing Coffee and Kareem to team up in order to save themselves from Detroit's most ruthless drug kingpin. What'd you guys think of Coffee and Kareem?
So, I mean, I went into this knowing exactly what it would be, so it's not like I had any high expectations. I saw what it was, and I'm like, okay, it could be fun still. And I thought it was. I laughed a few parts. There was something, I mean, it literally does nothing new. And some of the negativity that they put on, like, Detroit, I don't like. But
Yeah.
It's a little far-fetched.
it feels like it's by people who haven't been to Detroit.
Yeah, it feels like a stereotypical view of Detroit.
Yeah.
Like,
versus
yeah.
actually Detroit. But
Yeah.
but I mean, usually the majority of the time you see movies set in like LA and New York, and there's that.
Yeah, that's why I was torn between it, because I'm like, it's cool that it's in Detroit because it gives
Yeah.
it more spotlight, but then it's like, but the spotlight wasn't good that it put on Detroit. So
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, there is a crime problem in Detroit, but
yeah,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
they didn't show any of the good parts.
they made it, yeah.
They showed all the rundown, terrible parts.
Yeah, but I think it was funny how they brought in like the connection to Canada at the end, because like
Oh yeah, I did like
they're the ones that end up like wanting to buy the drugs. Like they're brought into Detroit and then they're sold to like across the border. But anyway,
Yeah, I did like that because that shows you like a very specific example of something that's very
yeah,
Detroit.
unique to it's unique to
Ambassador Bridge
Michigan
is
and
right
Detroit.
there, yeah.
Exactly. But good.
But overall, I didn't really like it, and I will definitely never watch it again. But I mean, it was basically Andy from The Office, so that was funny. His parts were funny.
Yeah.
I did not like the kid, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
He annoyed the crap out of
Oh,
me.
I know.
It warmed up later to me a little bit, like he improved, but for the most part, I really didn't like him.
Yeah. I just feel like the worst part about this movie was like how foul his language was, and it was like,
Well, I think they were definitely going
I
for
get
like
what
that
they were
feeling.
going for,
Yeah,
but
like the hard
it was
R.
it was too much
Yeah, from him, from a
from
kid.
him, because like everyone else kind of like swore, but they weren't as like foul mouthed, and like it was just a little
Over
too
the top.
much.
Yeah.
I can get it, like it could be funny because there's been movies where you have kids that talk like that can be somewhat funny, but this one was just like corny.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But I knew exactly what I was going into, so I didn't expect a lot of this.
Did you
movie.
watch that one movie that was came out last year.
The kid.
Oh, Bad Boys
Yeah.
or whatever. What's it
It was
called?
a
Not
Bad
Boys.
Good Boys.
Good
The Good
Boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
The opposite.
Opposite of that.
Yeah, The Good Boys. I mean, that was, I thought, pretty funny, and that was really bad.
You can do it well, but this script just wasn't.
Yeah,
was
I agree.
Too much.
Yeah, the script and writing were, definitely is not the strong suit here. But I know what they were going for, like with that kid, and he doesn't have a dad, and he lives in Detroit, and he's putting on all of that talk is like just a front.
Well, yeah.
Which you find out, So it is bad, but it's at the same time it's a little bit believable in this story.
Yeah.
Right. It just, I don't know. A little too much at times.
Yeah, I was expecting
It felt
to be
forced.
I was expecting it to be worse than it was. Like,
Oh, really?
I mean, I found, ultimately, like, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
My initial, when I initially saw the trailer, I thought it was a girl.
Oh, I thought that too.
I didn't even realize
I
that
thought it was a
Kareem
girl, too.
Yeah.
I thought watching the first 5 minutes it was a girl, but they were calling her. She identified as a boy, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. They're, allowing her to have that identity or whatever. Or, if that's her identity, then that's that. And then it really was a boy. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
makes sense, I guess. But
You're like, oh, never mind.
especially when they were especially in the beginning in the bathroom, I was like, oh, okay, I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense. But anyway,
Yeah, it was better than I expected, but just as still not good.
Yeah.
It was. I don't think it was. It was exactly what I expected.
see, I think this had a weak beginning, a weak ending, but a really strong middle point where, like,
I wouldn't say
Yep.
anything is strong.
I thought it was pretty.
yeah, like
Funny,
the middle
yeah.
But it
was like
better.
the middle, which is what they're trying to mine the most comedy comes out of, Coffee and Kareem being together, where in the beginning they're not. The end is, they have to have that
Like,
that
I don't think they
The
could.
turn.
the trope of like, oh, we're gonna break up and then
Yeah.
come back together. Every
they're
comedy
usual.
has that. Yeah.
But I don't think like the kid was like funny by himself, but once he got with him, like their chemistry was pretty good, I felt.
Yeah.
So I felt it was funnier than when it was just those two. One scene that sticks out in particular is the gay scene when he's interrogating him.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah. And all this stuff where like they don't have these people in the beginning either. They are in the end, but the funniest parts was the gangsters, like the main drug lord and then his henchmen.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, the
all
other
of
guy
their
was hilarious.
interactions. Like, I am not for Vine stars being
I was
actors.
gonna say, wasn't he
but
from YouTube
King-
or something?
But yeah,
No,
King
he's a
Batch
Vine.
in
King
this
Bach or Batch,
See, I didn't
whatever.
watch
was
Vine.
actually really funny.
I thought he was pretty funny.
The two of them were funny.
Yeah, both of them.
because like they
The
kept
other
doing
guy,
things.
I laughed a couple times at what he was saying.
Yeah.
Because they kept doing things I wouldn't expect. Like it wasn't as predictable what they were gonna do as I thought it would be. So that's
Yeah.
why it was pretty funny.
It reminded me a lot of Pineapple Express, the two guys that are tracking them down, how they're supposed to be like such hard criminals, but they're like they're not,
He's
and
like,
then
why
the
do you
same
always got to shoot first?
the same exact scene, the dinner, or like when they are
Outside
about
the
to have
hotel.
dinner, and they have to run away, and the people find their food.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's
he's-
eating it, it's still warm. It's just like Pineapple Express. He sticks
Yeah.
his hand in the mac, it's still warm.
Well, then he's like, bring the plate with you, and also
Yeah.
bring an extra roll or something.
I've been craving carbs. My girl got me on this keto bullshit.
Yeah, that guy specifically was
Yeah.
the funniest guy in the movie.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I thought, like I said, just the beginning was weak and the setup was weak, but the middle, did a lot. Like obviously, that's what they were going for, was this totally different views on the spectrum of this white police officer, this young black kid who's trying to be a gangster, so trying to be such a hard gangster all the time, and just what they get from that.
Yeah, the
Pretty
middle
good.
part definitely saved the movie.
Yeah.
Some of the comedic elements were funny. This director is kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even.
I mean,
see
he
what
has
else
Take
he
Me
did
Home
for-
Tonight with
Okay.
Topher Grace.
Okay.
And he did a couple other movies that were like, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
Like this is kind of outside of his realm. So
I could see that.
but that could also be writing. Because he did he's done he did Stuber, which was pretty bad.
Never saw it.
I did see that.
Someone that I
He
someone
did
that I know
Goon, which
loves
was supposed to be
Stuber.
pretty good.
What?
Wait, so
Goon,
Oh, Goon. Yeah, it's
he
not
did
bad.
Stuber
that's him
and,
too.
and then he did this movie that quick? Wasn't Stuber last year?
But this was, yeah. But Stuber actually got like a wide release and stuff.
This was
a Netflix
probably
movie.
older, actually.
Yeah, this could have been done first before Stuber. Who knows? But anyway,
It was released everywhere on the same exact day,
yeah,
April 3rd.
yeah. I mean, I could see that. Like, I could see. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen Stuber, but not making like a terrible comedy. A lot of those are like average to good
Yeah.
comedies, and
That's
this one, even though it's a Netflix movie, it's probably more close to average. But do you guys want to get into like some details? I think we went over general thoughts. I know you don't have.
I mean,
probably
yeah, there's
much
not
to
a
say.
ton details because it's. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't
It's
try
pretty
to do
straightforward,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, there is nothing new that is done here, but
yeah. I mean, there's definitely like a lot of nitpicks and stuff because it's not going for the most grounded or realistic story. But I guess we already talked about Ed Helms a little bit. He pretty much plays Andy from The Office, and
Or from, what's his name in Hangover?
oh yeah, Stu.
Stu.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got like a little bit more edge to him almost because he was a
Right.
cop and he was a foster kid himself. He said, or an orphan. But yeah, the boy was. I mean, performance-wise, it was okay. I think it was more the writing than anything.
yeah, I don't think it
I don't
was.
think it was acted poorly.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah.
It
was
was the
like,
one that was, like,
oh, that was
egregious.
bad acting. It just seemed
Everything fit this
corny. Yeah,
type of
it
movie.
fit. Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
Yeah. Well, actually, the other one thing I was gonna say was Betty Gilpin has stood out as being like, I think it was over the top and like it might look bad, but
I thought she
I think
was
they were
good.
going for that type of feel. I
I
mean, the
thought
She's
end,
coming.
She
yeah.
was my favorite character from that, actually. So
yeah, but by the end, I don't know. Like they turn her. Okay, so she's supposed to be a detective, right? She works in the same for the Detroit police force, but she's a detective, and Coffee's just a normal cop. He actually becomes a traffic cop at some point. But so she's supposed to be a lot smarter, and by the end, like she turns into like this complete moron. It seems like, and I get what they were going for. Like she was under a lot of stress and stuff, but like the things that happen in the end of this movie gets like way crazy and over
Yeah.
the top.
yeah, I agree. But
Yeah.
I still thought it was.
Yeah, I really thought the end was kind
one
of
of
like.
one of my favorite parts
fell
is also when like they walk in. She's like, "Je vais pas, c'est plutôt, c'est maintenant."
Yeah, she's
And
just saying-
she's like, "Oh, It's like.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's like she just starts saying like random gibberish in French with a French accent.
She's like, oh, it's like
I
actually
thought
a
you
real
guys would
language or
understood
something.
that.
I thought
you
it was
might-
just
if I
words.
just
It's
start-
like a real language.
Yeah.
With words and everything.
But that's one of the things where it's like so stupid that like, you know, way past the realm of realism. It's so stupid that it could work, but I didn't laugh at,
I
didn't think
thought that was funny. Actually,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's like a real language and everything.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. Where she just like turns into this complete moron by the end of the movie.
Yeah, that scene was pretty bad. Just in general, the French Canadian actors were horrible.
The whole, yeah, that's what I'm saying is the whole
They
end
weren't
falls
part
apart.
of the movie, but that was horrible acting. Like, it was a one scene that was like, wow.
Yeah, I barely remember the whole last thing. I just
It's
it's
not good.
yeah, nothing really happened.
Except King
Yeah.
Bach is pretty.
Slight
did-
spoilers.
Yeah, it did kind of annoy me. Like he took like so much damage, like, and then it kind of got like really over the top because everyone else was also having less stuff done to them, and like,
Yeah.
and he was like,
No, I mean the same thing with King Batch. He gets out of the building. Like this whole entire building blows up, and they walk out fine. I mean, he's not fine, but
he has half his face. Is
yeah. But
Well,
you know what I'm saying? It's like
Coffee is.
yeah.
King
obviously they
Bach
would have been
isn't.
dead, but
She's like, let's see how this heals up first. We'll talk after that.
yeah, it really jumps the shark like for the last act.
Yeah,
and
it
just
definitely
goes
does.
all in, but it just didn't work like as well,
Yeah.
because it loses like more of the comedy. Like I said, it was funnier in the middle than the beginning or the end, and they give it up for, I don't know, maybe to go for more action, like it's trying to be more of an action comedy, which
Yeah.
It was
I did
definitely
like
meant
the-
to.
there's some.
I think it was meant to
I did
seem
like
over the top.
Oh no, that's what I agree, but it
You think it
didn't
was too much?
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
it wasn't funny.
'Cause he,
Like,
like,
if you're gonna
runs
go
into
over
the
the top,
barrel.
there's a way to
Like,
be over the top. and
another
funny.
police duo movie, much better. Hot Fuzz. See, like that's not
You're just
serious.
obsessed with Simon
Yeah,
Pegg.
that is a
though,
great
so-
movie.
And Edgar Wright.
He's obsessed with Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg.
Do you not like Hot Fuzz?
I've never seen it.
Do you not?
I love Hot Fuzz, but it's that is in the realm of, that's an Edgar Wright comedy.
Yeah.
I'm saying like this is more like, this is like I've already said before, Pineapple Express. This is more similar to Pineapple Express, where that's has good action and really good comedy. This has decent action and decent comedy.
Yeah, I was just saying that was a better example of an over-the-top cop comedy.
Oh, right. Like they take it. So, yeah, same thing with...
Because it's
Final
way over the
Express
top too, but like it works,
Yeah.
right? Like though they did kind of do like a scene that was from Hot Fuzz. Did you catch that? Him shooting the
just
gun
said I've
off in
never
the
seen
air,
it.
which was also Hot Fuzz's
Right.
homage to another older police movie. So I don't know if that was intentional.
Maybe when
or-
he's like distressed or whatever and he just fires.
yeah,
it
he
this
lays
way.
on the ground, just
Yeah.
shoots into the air.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens in Hot Fuzz, exactly. But he's doing it because of another thing. So I don't know if that was supposed to be a reference or anything. If not, I feel like it's even worse than... I don't know. I didn't like that scene because it didn't have the build-up like Hot Fuzz did, where it mentioned it and then he did it later, and that's why it was funny, where he just did it.
Well, that's one of the... I mean, that's the main difference between these is one of them is very well written and done, has all these amazing setups and payoffs, and this is like more just kind of taking it piece by piece. Like there's once they're trying to do a build up and payoff the whole character arc for basically Coffee and Cream, both of
Yeah.
them together. And at the end, I feel like they ruin that, like by him, what he says to his mom, or what he says when his mom isn't around, like is just a betrayal of that character, I feel like. So like he wouldn't have said that because he says this one thing, or I guess, okay, slight spoilers. He says that I should have left you or leave your mom or whatever, dumped her, and then she actually hears him say all that, and that's the trope of, oh, we got to have a fight now so that we can come back together in the end. So
It was heavy-handed.
yeah, happens in every movie. But as soon as that's over, he's like, oh, I would throw my life away for both of you, you know, stuff like that. It's like, I just feel like he never would have said that in the first place if he actually felt this way about both of them, or his mom specifically.
Yeah, that seemed off character to me too. I don't see why he even really said it.
Yeah, it
'Cause, like-
felt like just the plot device to get them to the point where they
You have
can
to
be
fight and
apart,
make
yeah,
up,
to
yeah.
fight and then get kidnapped. They get kidnapped right after. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like super tropey. And
Yeah, it was really forced.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple stupid shit like.
But that's as soon as
how many
you
cops
that
carry
leads into the
grenades in
point,
their trunk?
Yeah, exactly. But that leads right
I mean,
into the point of what I was
There's no
saying, where
grenades in trunks.
the beginning is weak and the ending is weak. That's exactly the point where it starts to go from there. It just goes downhill. Like I feel for the rest of the movie. As soon as you
Yeah,
get
the
up to
ending
that
was
point.
pretty horrible.
Yeah, it was.
They did another grenade scene in it.
Oh, I know.
Then I instantly thought
literally
about it.
wrote down the whole grenade scene. What the fuck? Like,
Because he didn't he
Dude.
just got knocked over and he's fine. Like he was right next to the grenade. It would have obviously.
Well, they always mess up grenades in movies because they always have fire and stuff too, which is like not
a small part of a grenade.
Yeah, like it's really small fire. It's all the concussive and fragmentation.
Shrapnel.
Yeah, that actually
Yeah, but
kills somebody.
It felt like a straight to Netflix movie. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
which
Yeah. I mean, really, I would just say,
used to be like a given. Nowadays, it's not as much of a given as.
I mean, you still have to look at behind. I think it's all comes down to the
Writing.
argument of what does Netflix produce versus what do they buy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that Netflix buys that they have no hand in producing that are good.
Tend to be the better.
The majority of times that they're bad, it's the ones that they end up producing themselves, or you know.
Yeah. Get their hands too much in it.
Yeah. So, I don't think we have much else to say. I have a couple nitpick things, but why even get into it for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, if I went down into it, I could nitpick
Yeah.
the entire
yeah.
movie.
Obviously,
but
It just comes down
it was
to
all
the
stupid.
writing
I knew it was
wasn't-
gonna be stupid.
The
and
writing wasn't as strong, but
but it was funny. I laughed.
It
at
was
all the
exact. Like I
parts.
said, it was exactly what I thought it'd be.
yeah. And I think it was a little bit better than what I thought it would be.
It's better than
slightly better than
It's
I thought
better
it'd be.
than I thought it would be. I was
Thought it would be
expecting,
very, very.
as you'd see in my score, I was expecting it to be like what was that terrible John Travolta movie? I can't remember. the name.
Fanatic.
Yeah, I was expecting that level. So when I actually watched it, I'm like, okay, this is not that bad. Like, it's not good, but it's not bad. Like, it's not.
Just no.
I mean, it is bad. I think
Okay,
it's
it's
bad.
below average,
But
but
it's better than
it's
what I
better
thought
than
it
I
would
thought
be.
it would be. Yeah.
I
There
mean,
we go.
okay, so let's get into ratings then. If we're not going to say anything else about it, what are you going to give it?
What did we give it?
I gave
Did
it.
you give it?
I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 1.5.
Yeah.
A heavy 1.5. I was between a 1.5
I
and
rounded
a 2.
up. Yeah. It was like a 1.7,
could be either
1.8
one,
to
but
me.
looking at my scores, it falls closer to 1.5 for me. So
Yeah. I honestly was almost gonna give it a 2.5, like just make it average, because I'm like, yes, it
The
messed
ending
up a
would brought it
lot.
down for
Yeah,
me.
that's me
For
too.
sure. It was
Me
that
too.
bad.
That's what I'm saying. Once
It
it got
was
to
2.5 midpoint.
yeah, once it got to the midpoint, I'm like, okay, like I can, because that's average, right? So I've seen way worse movies than this, and it's not like I hated watching it. But then once it got to the end, I'm just like, okay, no, that I gotta knock it for that, and brought it down to a 2.
All right, well, that's Coffee and Kareem. Our next review is going to be Vivarium, or Vivarium, however you say it. This just came out digitally. Didn't end up getting a theatrical release, but this has been on my list for a while. Vivarium is directed by Lorcan, or Lorcan Finnegan. Also written by him and Garrett Shanley. Stars Imogen Poots, Jesse Eisenberg, I guess say the kid, Sheenan Jennings, Anna
it.
Hardwick. Yeah, there's really, I mean, if you
There's
know the
like
story of this
4.
movie, there's 3 or 4 people in it. So let's take a listen to a clip.
Yonder is a wonderful development. Both tranquil and practical, it has all you'd need and all you'd want. And as for the prices, it's no wonder these houses are getting snapped up. I know what you guys are thinking. Suburbia. But there's more to Yonder than what you see in these images. We've lovely people, all sorts of people ready to move in. It's going to be a diverse community. Something different, a nice blend.
Where's it located?
Near enough. And far enough. Just the right distance.
Okay, plot synopsis reads, a young couple looking for the perfect home find themselves trapped in a mysterious labyrinth-like neighborhood of identical houses. What did you guys think of Vivarium?
It's it's difficult. So like, this is definitely my type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like, small cast, indie, like weird.
High
Not-
concept.
What?
High concept.
High concept, yeah. And there definitely is very open-ended, expecting you to like get the bigger picture yourself versus like just feeding you the answer. But I also think I figured out the answer pretty early on, and it really didn't like. It was dragged on, even though it was only an hour and a half. It felt too long.
Oh yeah, wow.
Well, okay, yeah. I'll go next.
But I mean,
Go
I
ahead.
thought the acting was good. Oh, yeah, like I like the story. It was very obviously CG for a lot of it. But like I felt like that even fit with it because it was meant to feel like alien to me.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to be fantastical.
Exactly.
This place isn't real.
So that's why that still worked for me. It was obvious, but like purposely obvious, I guess.
And the budget of this probably wasn't that big.
Oh, yeah, I'm
so
sure it was
none of
tiny.
those
4 million.
houses. Like, I mean, I'm sure one of them was real, and then they had to like duplicate it or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure only the one
'Cause,
was real.
Yeah, they
4
couldn't
million.
do. Yeah, it's pretty small.
Yeah, I'm sure
Micro budget.
I'm sure the one house was real and it was just a duplicate of that house.
Right.
But like, I mean, even the sky and clouds and stuff looked
Oh, yeah.
weird. But it was like I felt
yeah,
like it
that
was
was like
on
a good-
purpose.
Those
Weird,
clouds
yeah.
were good. Like
They were
I feel
obviously
Even the
they-
sun was not like did
Sometimes
not
the
look like the
buildings
sun at
that-
all.
No.
But it fit perfectly.
So maybe they did that because of the houses, the limitations of what they could have done with the houses. They're like, okay, let's just all match it together so
Yeah.
that it's more believable as this certain thing given the limitations that they had.
Yeah.
But yeah, my only real problem with it was the like pacing, I guess. It felt really slow, which again, I feel like was the purpose, but you could have done that and cut off like some time.
Yeah. So I'll say that first off that I liked it quite a bit, or at least liked it. I'm trying to decide how much, because I do feel the same exact way that the pacing was like the main issue, because the story and everything is good, and I think it does leave. It has a good the atmosphere and the portrayal of how you're supposed to feel is done really well, and that's through the acting and stuff. That's done well as well. But yeah, I feel like it could have been a little bit shorter. It's only an hour and 37 minutes though. Also,
That's counting credits, so it's like an hour 30.
Yeah.
Hour 32.
Yep. But maybe like an hour 20. I think probably maybe 10 minutes could have been cut out. I mean, this could
least.
be. I've heard some people say that it could have been like an episode of TV, and they feel like it's an episode of like The Twilight Zone, which is true.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good
It
comparison.
or Black Mirror. It could have been
Yeah,
like a
Black Mirror,
48-minute TV show.
Yeah, they probably could have fit it into that time, but I feel like kind of the length and like Jacob was saying, what they're going for, it fits that as well. So that's why I'm a little bit torn on it, and I did end up liking it, but just how much is the question.
Yeah, I feel like I could have liked it more.
Yeah, for sure. The concept is really good. With a bigger budget and maybe like one more rewrite, it could be like really, really good. But
yeah, it had a lot of potential, but I still liked it.
Yeah,
so
that was my general thoughts.
Yeah,
and we know this isn't Josh's type of movie.
No,
so I did not like it. I definitely think it was carried by Imogen Poots. She carried the film.
She was the best for sure.
Jesse Eisenberg not very good.
I thought he was good, but he didn't really have that many.
No, he started off okay, and then it just got to the point where
I kind of agree. Yeah,
like he just slowly got worse and worse throughout the movie. Like his actual acting got worse and worse.
I just think he didn't have that many big parts in it.
Well,
really.
The thing about some of the scenes that he's involved with, like the dancing scene, like I feel like that could have been a point where he would have had the chance to show off some acting range.
That part really, really disappointed me.
Yeah,
I felt like that could have been like a really big scene.
I thought that was the only
because that was like
the best
the breaking.
Scene.
I felt like that could have been very poignant, but then
I think it was one of the better scenes in the movie.
But as far as Jesse Eisenberg goes,
yeah,
no, I don't think he shined in any real part of the movie.
Yeah,
like he does fine
the entire film.
at what he does in the beginning, but that's also him just as
being
an actor.
Jesse Eisenberg, yeah.
Have you ever seen him show that much range? Like in The Art of Self-Defense, he stays as the same character pretty much the entire time.
Social Network, doesn't he?
Social Network is the same way, but like Batman v Superman, when he tries to show range, it just doesn't work.
See, I never saw that movie, nor do I want to. So I didn't even know he was in that film.
He's typecast.
Yeah.
He's typecast, right?
He has to be typecast.
He's typecast. He's the one character he always is.
Yeah.
And he was that until I agree. But I don't know. I feel like he just wasn't in it that much later. Really,
he
he was like a big part, and then all of a sudden he was just like,
well, he's two. There's two main characters, and
yeah,
when you have one that's like slowly gets less and less of a main character, it kind of, I felt like took away from the movie, because then you were just like, you never really felt that much of a connection with him, and he's one of the two guys and two main characters.
But
so you have a main character.
Well, I think the story is always supposed to be about Imogen Poots.
Yeah.
It's
because it starts with her, and like he was just like introduced in after like 10 minutes into it, right?
I don't think it was that long.
No, not.
It was like 4 minutes.
Was it really?
It was right after this classroom.
I know
scene.
it felt
she
like
goes
10
out
minutes
and
because the movie felt so long.
Yeah, right after she's done teaching, she goes out and he's there.
Okay, like 5 to 10 minutes.
But they
had closer to 5.
Well, like 4 to 5.
I don't know, because like they had the whole classroom scene, then they walk out, then she does the whole talking about the birds. And
the classroom scene was like a minute,
and then they had the whole bird scene in the beginning. Like,
well,
it could have been around.
The opening
the intro
credits.
doesn't count.
Yeah, so it could have been around 10
she
minutes.
Wasn't even
into
introduced
the film.
in the intro though.
Yeah.
Less than 10, maybe more than 5 in between there.
Yeah, so it's close enough.
Okay, whatever.
Either
you
way.
just made it seem like
At
he
7 minutes and
forever.
No, I'm just saying like even how he was introduced, it wasn't like he was the main character. He was a side that like inserted in himself into the scene. But it wasn't like.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that also detracts from the movie, because you have two characters, and then one of the main characters just doesn't feel like a real main character.
But I feel like that was not intentional. But I can get to that in a second.
I don't know. I think the premise was good. I like but it definitely could have been in a 48-minute TV show episode, and this was a very long hour and a half.
I think they had.
There was a lot of fill-in scenes that were like repetition.
There's a few, but a lot of them are. I think a lot of them are good. Like they keep it going. Like there's definitely a lull in the movie that you feel, but for the most part, the things that they keep adding that are new, keep it interesting, except for the things that are like, there's a few things that aren't explained or just are like kind of weird that I wish we knew more about.
The bulk of the movie that should have been explained more was not at all.
No, I feel like the bulk is obvious. Like the bulk of it is obvious. It's the small things that they add in that are not explained. They're like, why is that there?
The big reveal was like, didn't feel big.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think it's supposed to feel big. The best part about it is that this isn't a movie that the hero, that your protagonists change anything or they escape. It's about inevitability.
Well, yeah, it's like
metaphor.
What's the book that's like overwhelming dread? Like the whole movie is just H.G. Wells. What's the movies that are like very dystopian? Like the whole movie, it's a Lovecraft.
Lovecraft.
Oh, Lovecraft. Yeah.
It was very. I think like in that kind of similar realm of like, no, like the whole movie, you just don't think like it's just overwhelming dread. But it also wasn't
there's
done that
definitely like a tension there. I think Color Out of Space.
Don't go in
was
thinking this is a
like
horror film either, because it says
Lovecraft.
horror and it's just not a horror.
Yeah, it's not in the same. I know what you're going for. It's the feeling of dread, but not Lovecraftian dread. It's like
not quite Lovecraftian, but
was it Kafkaskian or something like that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cacophony.
Yeah.
Cacophony Society.
More like psychological dread, where I guess if we're gonna get into spoilers, we can now.
Yeah, this is definitely spoiled.
Yeah. So the basic premise. If you want to watch Vivarium,
Did
I
you
would
even read the
recommend it.
synopsis?
No.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't even have
No,
watched
I meant like
anything before.
No. He's saying, did I read it on
this
the
episode?
episode? I did.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, as far as the wrap up and the finale, it's what I understand, or what I think it was trying to say, is that this is a metaphor for like basic living, or not basic living, but your stereotypical
Suburbia.
life, suburban life, and that it is kind of like, I mean, they compare it to like a prison and stuff, and they don't want to be trapped in this prison. Some people don't want to have kids, and like, especially in our generation, it's becoming more and more popular, but like back in the day, it's going for like a very 50s nuclear family type of look.
Yeah.
So that's what the look of the neighborhood is, but they don't fit into that. So they are trying to like break free of that. And so like they're handed this kid, maybe they don't want kids, and that, is kind of frowned upon, but now it's becoming more and more popular. So they have to raise this kid they think they're going to be released by raising him. And it's just this cyclical nature of life. Like, everything is just repeating over and over again. And that's the inevitability of at the end, when she says, what's the mother's job? And he says, to die, and it just starts all over.
That's exactly what I got from it too. So for me, it was like, even in the beginning, they were going to go look at the house, but like, I don't want to go look at the house. I'm not like into the whole, we're not ready for that kind of thing. He's like, no, just go look at it. And then it's like, as you're growing up, you have like all these like dreams and stuff of these things that you want to do, like these exciting big things that you want to do. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be like everyone else who just falls into it. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're living in a house with a kid, and like, you're just like everyone else. You're not special. And then like, even as it extended the thing. So I think him getting, what was his name even in the movie though?
Tom
and Gemma.
So I think like Tom getting sick, that's like just showing like how cancer and stuff can happen. And it showed smoking regularly. Yeah. So I'm assuming he had like lung cancer or something.
Well, yeah, even the way they deal with time.
He's not even that old.
No, but that's the thing is, though, the way they deal with time is like, when you get into that routine, time like flies. Your life passes you by.
Look how fast the kid grows in comparison to them. So it's like they're the same. But that's the whole
metaphor. Is like time is gonna pass you by. Like in the blink of an eye, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
All these things happen, and it's shown to be like fantastical. But that's the way that it feels. Is like they think they're young, but they're probably in reality old.
Yeah.
Maybe the kid was aging normally, and they were the ones that were feeling like.
And like
I think it's a stretch.
And it's like you always
But
want.
either way, that's what they're going for.
I
is
get
that
what they're
time.
going
he's
for, but did
digging
it
and
portray
stuff.
it well? I don't think so.
When they're like
Oh.
like they start breaking apart, and it's like that happens because you have the stresses of life, and so you
Yeah.
start trying to reach out to other hobbies and stuff. That was him digging the hole, which literally is like digging his own grave, right? Also,
Yeah.
and it's like then you always think, yeah, you'll be released, like the retirement, right? And then sometimes you die before you get to retirement, like he did. And so he never got to enjoy back to the life that he thought he would have from before, even though he wanted it, right? So
Yep.
that's what that meant to me too. I saw, yeah, exactly like that. And I thought that was all good because, look, I got that.
Yeah,
Like,
but that was also
it was
pretty
portrayed.
literal.
I thought it,
I don't think it was like, oh, this is a metaphor. I think
mean, it
was
wasn't
very,
little.
very laid out, plain and simple, what this movie was about.
I mean,
No.
They were trying
no.
to be obscure about it, but I think it was pretty literal.
I think it
I think they were-
feels
I think it was
literal
a good
because they
balance of,
described it
like-
so
But it
well.
also
You don't have to dig too deep to get the answers,
Yeah.
but it's portrayed in a
so
good
then,
way that
so then what
you feel,
what does his alienness portray?
What do you mean?
Like what were they? If this is all a metaphor, then what were the kids? What
no,
was Martin?
I think the overall metaphor was like what.
No,
we were
I know,
saying.
but where does a kid fit into that?
it literal kid.
I know, but why does he have like a guttural throat and
I
why
mean,
are
I
they
don't-
oh,
like
that's
alien?
the
literal,
stuff. That's
yeah.
the stuff that I'm talking about.
Why are
that
they
I
like
didn't-
alien creatures? It doesn't ever explain what they.
Well, yeah, they don't explain like the book, and they don't explain like the.
Then what's that
imp-
language?
that
What's the fucking
throat.
tunnel thing? What was the thing he was watching? What was it?
Well, that's why I didn't get a higher score, right? Because it's like there were some things I felt like.
But
they
that was
put
like
out
a
these
main drive
feelers.
to the movie.
Yeah, I
So,
don't.
like-
I mean,
think it
there could have
was,
been
yeah.
if this is correct, there could have been another layer to that wasn't explained well, which I would agree with. But
Which-
it might be a
yeah.
stretch in saying that like it's trying to say the only thing I can think of is that it'd be saying that you're basically manufacturing. Parents nowadays are manufacturing these kids that just go out into the workforce and are very like monotonous and
I get what
they're
he
like
was.
they're hypnotized by TV. It's not an actual TV program. It's more like hypnotic, and he's like obsessed with it. He keeps wanting to turn it back on.
Yeah, but
That's
And then-
more akin to nowadays kids watching TV and phones and all
and
that
kids
stuff.
are so like.
Like I said, it's a stretch and it wasn't portrayed as well, but that
Yeah.
that fits, the narrative.
And I think it also is like showing like the participation trophy type thing where like kids get whatever they want. Like he screams, so
Yeah,
you
when he
get
doesn't
what you
get it,
want.
and
It's
then he
like
does-
yeah,
well, yeah, that was obvious too.
right. But I'm just saying.
But why was he an alien?
I think that's like
Well,
you don't have to take that literally.
Yeah,
though.
that's
But no, there was a book that showed like the throat being.
right.
But what was it? Why? What was he?
I just don't think it was important. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the whole scene where like go under the street, that didn't really make any sense.
No, I thought that was because it's like they thought they were alone the whole time. Then they go in, she sees other people and realizes that no, everybody's in the same situation. as
Instead of
her.
having like neighbors it's more
Yeah.
like tiered rather than like parallel. So like because if they had someone together in this, it wouldn't feel like
Yeah.
as dreadful or
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Plus
but
what
was-
they're feeling. But
Plus,
now
you
they go
feel like you're
deeper and
alone,
deeper.
right? You feel like you're the only ones doing this. Go back to a great movie we saw. Like, does everyone feel like they invented love? Right? It's like everyone feels like this is their first time doing this, so they're alone. But then they realize no, everybody's going through this. You see? What I
Yeah,
mean?
but the way that it was done wasn't, because it made it seem like it was like different universes,
right. That's exactly what I'm
But-
saying. Yeah.
but it wasn't done that well because it was like
But like everybody experiences
The
it differently.
fantastical
Like
parts of this
when she
movie
goes
didn't
down,
fit. They, like, didn't
it's
work.
red, blue, green. Like that's showing that it's not all happening within her neighborhood. It's just a way to show that this is if you go down to somebody else's, then like you're the only one, or they're the only ones there, and they're the only ones there, and that's what it feels like. It's more about just like this, that feeling of anxiety and depression and being alone. Like that's how a lot of people, or it's.
But I think
they
it's
say
like it's like kind of like
close to
saying
postnatal
children
depression,
are bad.
where you
But
feel like you're alone in it, and
That's
like
what it's saying. Yeah. It's like saying that like everything we were saying, right? It's like it's not bad, but it's just
But it's portraying that it kids are like a negative.
No, it's not
thing
like
and,
that's a literal thing. It's just showing that your life changes, like it becomes something
but
different.
no,
you're not focusing on just yourselves.
Then
and
they wouldn't have made it be portrayed as such a negative thing if it was just supposed
That's
to be
what I just said. Did you hear what I said? I said it's more of a depiction of postnatal, like when you have
depression
and like
I get it
PTSD after
because it
having a
says your
kid.
mother, like it's
Yeah,
I get what it's.
That's a real thing where like they, you know, they have these
That's
totally
kind of the
negative feelings
expectation,
towards their
right?
own child, and it can happen.
It's kind of like the expectation.
Yeah.
Right?
But like it makes it like a negative.
That's a real thing.
I know,
People feel
that's
negative
why-
towards their own
obviously
kids after that.
Yeah,
Like that's just
But
it's
this was,
showing
like,
an example
years.
of like a situation that people can feel. It's not showing everybody's situation, right? Like this is.
but it was though because there was like multiple layers of the same things.
Yeah,
happening.
but there's many people in the same situations.
Right.
But it doesn't mean
But
everybody feels
I know,
the same
but-
way.
I don't know.
It's just one example.
Yeah, but it made it feel like there's a lot of people that go through this, and it's just
Yeah, there is a lot of
inevitable, and you're
people that go through it.
and you're just
Yeah.
gonna be depressed the rest
Even
of your
if
life and
there's,
die.
they should, yeah.
How many
But
times?
Where
does
do
that
they
happen?
get?
You gotta
and they
think-
don't have. There's nothing in the movie like if there was something that if they wanted to go for a happy ending, then they would have put a metaphor in for like, like mental health or something like that.
But
Whereas
sometimes
this
it's never
person,
happy.
that comes and saves them is a representative of getting, therapy or mental help or whatever. But they didn't want to go for
I
that.
know,
They
but there's
went,
a lot of
they
things that you like that you can't describe because, like what is Martin then? What does he represent when he's older?
the same kid.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
but
their kid.
what does Martin represent then?
Well, it's different
What does he
depending on the
represent, though?
stages. Like, so he was the literal kid. He grew up. Time passed quickly, like Kyle was saying. Like maybe they were actually like also aging, but we didn't see that. And then when he's an adult, now he's literally just completing the cycle, and it's like a different meaning.
Yeah, but like why? What was the whole traveling through time or whatever? What did that depict? Like when he went under the fucking.
That was what you're saying.
Sidewalk.
Is that is showing that there's other people in the
In the
same
same
situation
situation.
that feel this way.
Yeah, but he went through and went through the door, and then she
Yeah.
just kept
When you
melting
have,
through the floor.
When you have a dream, do you take your dreams literally?
Was it a dream?
It's showing. They talk about
It's
dreams in the
dreamlike,
movie, and
yeah.
it's very dream nature. I mean, he picks up the curb and just
Yeah.
goes under it like it's a blanket.
Yeah, well,
Obviously,
that
it's not
doesn't-
real.
I know it's not real.
That's what I'm saying, though.
The whole
So
fucking
look
clouds
at
aren't
that
real.
and take from that. Obviously, this is not meant to be real.
Like, she was so weak. Maybe that never even happened. She was literally falling down the stairs later
Yeah.
and then died. Like maybe she was delirious.
She wakes up back in her own neighborhood, like,
Yeah.
and there's all these weird color filters. It's meant to be. That's like
It could
it's
have
so obviously
that could
meant
have
to
been
be
obvious to show you that it's not real. The fact that it's different colors and stuff. Like
right.
Stretch.
Exactly. It's not.
You
It's
guys
not,
do. You
though.
guys do these films, and you guys give films too much credit.
but we both like got that separately.
Yeah.
I got it too,
Yeah. So
but it's like doesn't mean it's
That's
done
a
well.
stretch.
Doesn't mean it's done well.
if we got it,
The
then
whole
it was
movie
well
isn't done perfectly,
It's not,
but it's-
which
I don't even think
is
it's done
reflect-
What they are
It
going
is.
for is clearly there.
Yeah.
And it works.
Like for me, it's like I gave it, I think, the same score as The Platform, for example. Like The Platform was more heavy-handed to me, which it was
Oh,
like
definitely.
It was like, yeah, that's the one thing, and they're sticking to it, right? And this is less obvious.
Yeah,
with
but
it,
the acting is much better in Platform than this is.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to judge between that.
Yeah.
because different languages and stuff. I don't
Yeah,
think the
but
acting
you
was
actually
bad in
felt
this.
like I think no when the Jesse when he's dying, that scene was horrible. When he's like describing to it, and then he's just like gone.
Oh no, I didn't.
It was
no, that
fine.
wasn't bad.
Their connection, I didn't feel anything.
That I actually liked that part because it showed, like, again, that was like another example. Like maybe at parts you get spread apart, but in the end you guys are
then
together.
what was the point of his voice changing?
Because he's not real.
I know you guys say alien stuff, but
Maybe it's like an example of how like your kid can reflect both of you, and it can
So
show
is it
the
a
worst
combination
parts
of
of
but
both
he
of you.
didn't.
Because it's a
why
mix
have
of
a
both
fake
of you.
voice the entire time?
To make it feel more alien.
'Cause it's not
'Cause if he was,
literal,
if he
right?
was real, like they
I
don't,
know,
they
but
really
why
don't
was
want
he
you
an
to feel a
alien? What is that
connection.
describing?
They don't want you to
What is
feel a
that
connection to the
depicting or-
kid. I feel like they don't want you to make you think because it.
Well,
They want you if you feel anything towards the kid, they want it to be because of what Imogen Poots acts how she
But
acts
then-
as a mother towards him, not because of what the kid is doing. It's easy to feel connected to a kid
You
just
don't think
because
they
they're a
wanted
kid.
you to feel connected
Like,
to the kid?
no,
Not for the sake of being a
because
kid.
most
What do you
movies,
think
that's
they
what they
want to
do.
connect it
Like
to?
they put in a kid, you automatically have sympathy, right?
Exactly,
Because
because it's a
everybody
kid.
has that human
They
reaction.
want you to feel sympathy
They want
towards
you to
it.
be annoyed by this kid.
Exactly. And
To
then if
show
you feel
that
something, it's
hatefulness
because
that you feel as a parent who wasn't ready for this to happen.
if they make you feel something towards
So
the
you
kid, it's
see-
because of how she
yeah.
acts as a mother. So,
So
you
you
feel
you
more
see
of that
all the
connection.
bad parts because kids are annoying. Like if you sit here now and you see a kid, you're like, yeah, maybe I want kids, and you see them crying and stuff, you're like, nah, I don't want it. Like I think it was just showing the bad parts that come with that, and also it's a reflection of both the parents.
So
and
you're
you
agreeing
both,
with me that saying that getting a kid is bad, is a negative thing.
in this example, yeah.
But you guys disagreed with me at the beginning, saying it's not really saying that having kids are bad. It's just
No, I said
saying-
it is saying that.
It's
Yeah.
saying
I'm
very
saying it's
much
trying to
that
portray
it's-
that. You're
so I'm
saying
it's
you're
a negative
saying
film because
no, yeah,
the
you're
director's
disagreeing.
saying that
You're
this
saying that
having kids
that
is
no
a bad
movies.
thing.
Yeah, you're saying no movies should say having kids is bad.
No, I'm not saying that they shouldn't.
But this one is saying
That's what
that.
it is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's
They
what I
can say
took
that.
from it. It's literally saying like, don't have kids.
That's totally fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I just don't. I just think there was some
but it's like
elements
one example.
that didn't make sense that were just outlandish for outlandish sake.
There are a couple.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There were multiple.
Which is why I didn't
So I
get
said
a higher
couple.
score. Like I had problems with it, but I still think it wasn't like obvious with its metaphors, but it still had those there that I could draw from, that I got that like, ooh, that's good.
The
But-
overall metaphor and the feeling it leaves
Yeah.
you with is the most important thing, and that's what works the best.
Yeah.
Is
I
like
actually
that was
the
felt with
total
nothing.
feeling of dread, and that like you can't escape this, and this is what's going to happen, and it happens. And they don't
Yeah.
escape it because you think the whole time they're going to find a way out of this, and they don't.
They don't,
I
which is
didn't-
realistic, right? Now,
Right.
There's not always a happy ending.
Can't escape death.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Like, the biggest gripe with this film is that I didn't leave feeling anything. The characters didn't really do anything for me.
That's because you wrote your narrative 30 minutes in.
Yeah, 30 minutes in, you should. That's a third of the film. I should either be in or out.
But when you're out, then you're totally out.
And this movie did nothing to bring me back in. There's movies when I'm
I
like,
don't know.
like Coffee and Kareem, completely out of it first act, didn't want to finish it. Second act brought me back in. This movie just got worse and worse as it went.
I
no.
don't think
There was
so,
one
yeah.
the one good scene is the dancing scene. But that had nothing to do with the mom either. The mom didn't bring the kid in. The kid did that himself. So you were saying that the mom did everything to make the kid feel that you wanted to feel for the kid, but that
Said,
scene,
yeah, if you felt
that scene
sympathetic,
completely breaks
they
that
do.
ideology because he comes in.
Tom literally wants to leave the kid in the car to starve to death, and she doesn't allow that.
Right.
And you feel like, okay,
But then the
you
kid
feel
does
like
things that the kid did this on his own, came out and danced on his own,
Yeah.
not because
Well, yeah,
she
that-
told him to come out. So your
No.
entire narrative breaks because you're saying you want the only thing that the kid did was because the mother did it.
I didn't say that
The
at
only
all.
sympathy you felt for the kid, the only time you said that you wanted to or the only time that you felt compassion for the kid was because the mother did things to make you feel for the kid. That scene completely breaks that because
What
he
is the
did
end of
that on
that
his
scene?
own.
I don't
Tom
think it
falls and
breaks
hits his
it.
head.
Yeah.
He throws the kid down, and she's the one that picks him up and carries him inside.
Listen to this. I don't think it
That-
breaks it at all. I think it's
Exactly.
showing that they were trying to have fun as being the two parents, like finally get back to the fun that they were having, that they used to have when it was just them. And then the kid interrupts. And maybe you have your happy moments, but then it all fell apart quickly after that.
Right.
When all they want, and then they were separated again. When all they wanted was like, they were finally reconnecting. Maybe that's like your vacation, your re-honeymoon, you're renewing your vows or something. But it was the couple reconnecting, and then the kid enters it and ruins it again. And now they're
what
separated.
is it? Then describe why they got locked out of the house when he was an older guy. Like the older kid, the older man was still watching the same TV.
Because sometimes
show.
your kids move away and they stop interacting with you.
Yeah, but he locks them out of their own house.
I mean, I think there's more you could get on a rewatch, knowing everything and like.
No,
trying
I
to
knew what it
dissect
was
more.
about, but it just
no, I'm
didn't
saying
describe it
that
properly.
scene exactly. I can't pull something out of thin air, but upon meditating, maybe come up with something.
Like,
or have
we
a-
have
have
stated,
a,
like we got that separately, right?
Right.
Like we both have the same thing that we pulled
I mean, like
from
I
it.
said, it was pretty literal what it was meaning.
It was not literal at all. Literal means it like did it, right? But it didn't. You just pulled that.
I mean, it was pretty heavy. I think there was very heavy-handed
I think the
parts.
general audience is going to think the same thing that you did. Didn't
They won't
work as
get
well,
it.
and it's kind of
Yeah.
boring and all this stuff. And there is pacing problems. We already talked about it, and there's
Definitely.
issues with it. But it's far from,
So
bad or meat.
You
If
guys,
I
your
wanna-
guys' rating, your
if I want to
guys'
say the things I don't
thing
like,
is more on point with the average than mine is.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're saying it's lower than what it's.
Yeah, you guys are
Coming out
like
to me.
right on the average. Like what
Right.
everyone thinking is what you guys put it
Yeah.
as. So
Could
I'm
be, yeah.
thinking that I'm more of
Oh,
the
okay, the outlier.
outlier.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
because I did think it was very literal.
Maybe I just
Like
think it's deserving of more.
the suburbia,
Honestly,
like all the
this
houses
could
are
maybe
saying.
go up.
What did the
I
nine?
do too.
What did the nine?
After I'm
do?
talking
Do you think
about
that
it-
had any secret meaning?
The what?
The
The
nine.
the number 9. I don't know.
In what case?
The house.
The
number
house was 9.
Oh, I
The
don't-
billboard
I
when
don't
you
know.
drove in was the 9 on the door.
Yeah, but I think that could have been just showing you that they all ended up at 9. But
Yeah, but
Could be.
there's got to be something to do with 9,
maybe.
or else it wouldn't be
I
in the
didn't
film.
get that,
Because nothing else, no other house had a 9 on it.
They
I
all
don't
had
think
They
it
had
was
no
important.
numbers other than there was one house with 9 on it.
Yeah, I don't think it was important. Really, I don't think. It had
Maybe
any-
it was, but I don't.
I
I don't
feel like
think
it
it
has
was.
to
I
be.
think
Your
it was just
favorite,
a
your
random
favorite
number.
meaning to pull from movies. Upside down 6 is purgatory. There you go.
Might be.
Go
It definitely
went up a
was.
star for
I mean,
Josh.
it was
No, it
definitely
did not
also.
go up, sorry.
It was definitely also showing like limbo or purgatory for sure.
Sure,
I
yeah.
mean, one of the lines, like if I want to say the
We are in
negatives,
hell.
yeah. If I want
Oh,
to say
yeah.
like the negative parts of it, yeah, like it was kind of predictable at parts, and like even though I got all this and like I could see it was well done, like I already knew what was happening a lot of the time. Like early on, I'm like, okay, I get it, but I also think other things that brought it down for me was the repetitiveness of it. Like a lot of things, just like it was the day-to-day grind. But again, I don't know if that was necessarily a fault on the movie's
Right.
part or the fault on me
Because
just
it's showing
not
day-to-day
enjoying
life is monotonous.
Yeah, like most days are, nothing happens. Like
Right.
it's just a day-to-day grind, right? So like I felt that was intentional, but even if it's intentional, doesn't mean it's enjoyable to watch happen over and over.
Yeah.
I can pull the feeling from it, but
Yeah, like they do try a lot of
Yeah.
different things, and they try to get out and stuff like that, and it's different, but it's monotonous at the same time. And like you said, yeah, that might not be fun to watch, but they do try different things
like
to get
there
out
was
constantly. And,
I get that there was a purpose for it, but it doesn't make it fun to watch.
right.
What did another sort of, I guess, maybe plot hole that I found is he had the cigarette, threw it in the ground. That made the hole.
Right. The
But
grass,
the
yeah.
fire, when them burning down the house, did nothing to the lawn. What did that cigarette with the hole, like, what did that represent?
But if you take the world that they're in too literally, like this should do this and this should do that, then you're looking at it too.
Yeah, 'cause
literally.
No,
That's
but what did
literal
that have to
again, yeah.
do? What did that portray? What was the purpose of that
I
scene?
think that was just to set up his obsession with the hole.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
ooh,
but why?
something
but why
weird
there was
happened.
There's got to be a meaning, or else there's.
Well,
then it is
it's
a plot
like
hole. or
how
unnecessary
hobbies
scene.
start, like a podcast, for example. Like that was just a random thing that happened. It's like maybe I'll dabble into that, and then next thing you know, you're 10 feet underground, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it was just him literally sparking an interest in something, and now he's obsessed with it.
Well, look at exactly what happens. It's a cigarette butt that he throws on the grass, so he's smoking, and then as he's digging, I mean, it shows him smoking once in a while, but as he's digging, he's getting sicker and sicker. So like maybe digging is actually smoking, and he's
like
digging his own
your
grave.
Yeah, exactly.
The cigarette
but-
butt led to that, and it's
Because
just
it
addiction.
showed him many times coughing in the hole, right?
in the hole, and every time
Well, he's
he's
also
done
breathing
digging, he's
dirt for.
Yeah,
however
but
long.
that's literal.
yeah. Don't look at it literally.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it is.
But not
metaphorical.
everything in this movie has to be a metaphor.
You asked what
No,
it meant,
yeah, you're
though.
saying what
Yeah,
it would
what does it
be.
mean then?
I'm telling what it could mean is this. Yeah.
Exactly that. I think that's pretty spot on. He's digging his own grave.
Yeah.
Smoking led to the digging, and
And
the
then he
digging
died.
is how he dies.
And then he's buried in the hole that he dug for himself.
right.
And he dragged someone else with him. Maybe she got cancer too. Like, I don't know. It's just like,
I feel like a movie should. You shouldn't have to be like, I don't know if it's a good movie.
I know I like it. But
There's movies that I have to watch 4 or 5 times, and then they go up
You're
every time.
gonna
or
watch this
something
4
like
or
that.
5 times?
No, I could watch it again, and
I
probably
think
would
I
go
could
up.
watch
I think.
it again.
I think it would go up.
Yeah, I think it would
I
go
could
up for
not
me
watch
too.
it.
See, I think you're writing
Like,
it off just
Me
being
talking about it
closed-minded.
right now is
Writing
already
your own
me,
narrative
Like, okay,
and-
maybe it was better than I thought it was.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. Talking about it's going up. It's getting better.
yeah, like clearly we're having a good discussion about it. So that's a sign that the movie was effective in what it was trying to portray, right?
Yeah.
To have this kind of discussion, like we didn't have this discussion about Coffee and Kareem, did we? Like,
I think it does. It shows a lot. It says a lot with a little bit, and with 3 or 4 actors, like we said, 3 characters in the whole movie,
in like one place.
and it doesn't. There's not a lot of movies that do this takedown of the
It was
stereotypical
different.
view of what society's supposed to be, of what your life is supposed to be.
The
It's
American
a takedown
dream.
of that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that anymore.
But it's also not an American dream because it's not based in America.
It's
Then why was she British? They're in Belgium. He's American, and
important.
all the
I
kids
don't
are
think that's
American.
None of it's
important at all.
important.
Yeah.
How like they specifically made her British and him American for what reason?
I thought she is British.
she probably is British and he's American, so it's they.
Yeah, but why are they in Belgium?
Why not? We don't
Doesn't
know
matter.
they're in
It doesn't
Belgium,
matter.
do we?
I
don't-
feel
do we
like you
know
guys
they're
give
in
this movie
Belgium?
too much credit.
She
Well,
was
I mean,
spe-
it's
She was
obviously
speaking English to the kids.
yeah, but it's obviously not in America.
Yeah, but it could be.
It's not describing
England.
It's not describing an American.
But it could be England.
Yeah,
but
any
you guys
other-
said
any-
you guys are
any
you're
other
describing
any other
America.
actors
It's
I
not
heard
describing
were
America.
British.
No, I mean these
The
are
American
things
dream
that
is
happen.
just like it's a saying for America, but it's like just more of like a view of
I just mean like
what your life is
like
going to
you have kids, you have a house,
Right.
you have a yard. Like it's just the basic what you would expect.
be. Every house looks the same. You got your picket fences.
Yeah.
You raise a kid. That's what it says. You raise a kid to be released, and released in this world means
Die.
dead. And that's
So
what
you have a
everybody's
kid
view
until
is.
you
You
die.
raise kids and you die, and
And then you die.
It's all cyclical.
Like you say that all the time, right? It's like, okay, you're excited to graduate from school, and then maybe you go to college, you graduate college, you get a job. All right, now you get a house, you have kids, you get married, you do all that, and then you retire, and then you die. Like it's just showing all of that. That's the dream, right? That's what everybody wants, is like to hit those milestones, and then you die, and you had a fulfilling life, hopefully. And it's like they were trying to avoid the monotony of being just like everyone else, but then they couldn't avoid it. They ended up being just exactly like everybody else.
exactly.
It wasn't that done very well.
I mean, I got it, so it was done well enough. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like the things that hold it back is just more of
yeah, it
comes
could have
down
been
to
better. It
maybe
could have been
budgetary,
better.
a little
Yeah.
bit of acting. Like there's a lot of small things that add up to
Like,
it not being
this
perfect.
could have
but
been great.
yeah, the overall is very good.
Yeah, this could have been like great. It had way more. It had more potential to be better than what I gave it, but it was still good.
Oh yeah.
So, hence the score.
Well, speaking of scores, you ready to rate this thing,
Yeah,
Jacob?
3 stars. Though I think it could go up.
I'm going up already. We already watched it. It hasn't been 24 hours. I'm bumping it up to a 3.5.
I
was at 3.
I
I'm
didn't know
going
we could do
3.5.
that live on the show here. So if we
It
can do
just
it,
happened live, so do
Okay.
it.
3.5 also.
3.5.
Yeah, it brought out to talking about it. Brought it out to me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
2-star.
Weak.
I like it more.
It
talking
wasn't
about
done well. The acting wasn't very good. I mean, you guys
done well.
you guys give too much credit to ideas, not necessarily execution.
It is
Like you guys are
executed well. It's
basing your
executed
score
very
off
well.
of what it could have been,
If
not
it
what
was,
it
exec-
was.
if it
Well,
was
exactly off of
executed
what it was.
poorly, I wouldn't have gotten this.
If
out
this
of it.
movie was what it could have been, it would be a 9 or a 10.
Yeah,
it's,
easily.
It's not what it could have been. It's a 6 or a 7.
I mean, it's not even an original idea.
it's pretty. What's another movie like this?
yeah.
You just said
The
a bunch
closest
of Nuketown, or like not Nuketown, Nuclear Family. It was basically like
It's a takedown of those.
Yeah,
takedown.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's saying that your life doesn't have to be like
Oh,
this. It's
I
not,
get what you're
it's
saying.
not the
Yeah.
portrayal
it's
of
showing
every
it as
sitcom
like a
and
literal limbo.
every
purgatory,
family movie is portrayed like how
as a happy ending.
is what this is being a commentary of. Yeah.
Like if this wanted to be a worse movie, it could have turned into her like when she was getting close with the kid, like turned into, oh, it's a happy ending. They all work it out together, but it doesn't. It still just goes
terrible
hard.
ending would have been the kid, like her getting close to the kid, and then the dad going like full Jack Nicholson and Shining.
Yep.
That would have been terrible.
I thought that was going to happen too. Like they started when he was on top of her,
Yeah.
pulling her down. I'm like, oh, he's going to be the killer. Yeah, The Shining.
Yeah.
And then he didn't. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
good.
Excuse me.
So I would definitely check it out. It's on. I mean, I bought this for $10, so it's not something you have to rent at home for $20. You can buy it right now for $10 on Google Play.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch in my opinion. If you want something that like scratches that itch of just this.
Yeah. If you like high concept movies,
Yeah.
you know, and you don't mind a lower budget, definitely check it out.
Pretty bad acting.
No.
Wasn't that
Imogen
bad.
Poots was good, and that's
Imogen Poots
half
was
the movie.
Was the only redeeming quality in
Yeah, and
terms
she's
of
the
acting.
main actress.
She's the main. Yeah.
Really the only one with
like I said,
things
like
to do. But
Jesse Eisenberg didn't have like really that much.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you're supposed to feel disconnected to him at some point.
that's
in the
why
movie.
he moves
You're
off and is gone.
Exactly. He sleeps in the hole.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another part too. There, how their marriage breaks down. Like a lot of
Which
people
happens.
end up sleeping in separate rooms, separate beds. That happens all the time.
Yeah. I think it was a very realistic approach
Yeah.
to the
A lot of things
thought
like
of a family.
click when you just get the whole thing.
Because people always talk about
the
the
picture.
good things, like these are miracle, blah blah blah, all this, and like that's maybe true, but like this is a more realistic view of like what happens a lot of times.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
I just
Well, that
don't
was-
know. I feel like the entire middle part of the movie was like.
There is a lull. I will
very
admit
bland.
there's a lull in the middle.
Like
but
I feel like most of the movie was a lull.
oh no.
but again,
No,
a lot of
because
that
it's
was on
just like
purpose.
it's like the next day, and you're like, oh, he's gonna go dig a hole again. Yep, he's gonna dig a hole again.
Yeah, that's
and like,
the monotony of
I know
life.
what the monotonous, but it was such a dull, boring middle.
Well, like I said, it was a little bit too long. That's why it could have been like a 9 or a 10, but it's not.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
like most of the
perfectly
movies,
fair.
like very bland and dull.
No.
No.
Like I said, there's a lot of things that keep it. There's a lot of new things that they do to keep
Yeah.
it moving. Like the kid ages, they do multiple different things to try to advance the plot and say, this is the new, she
You just
is,
said they try to advance the plot.
yeah, so I'm saying to show the passage of time, to show different things happening. Like if they got there and like it was just them two and they had to figure out how to get out the whole time for an hour and a half,
That would be
that would
boring.
have been way worse.
Yeah. And even like
Which
measuring,
obviously doesn't go with the
like
story.
even
the metaphor
measuring
anyway,
the
but-
height, like you could see it's been like 100 days,
Yeah.
right? Like that was intentional.
Yeah. Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys have been watching?
No, I've been watching like just junk. I don't know why I'm like obsessed with it right now.
Anything you want to throw out?
So I've been
Let's
watching
pad this thing out.
I hate reality TV. I will say that right now. Like on a whole, I hate reality TV because it's not reality, right?
Right.
It's stupid. But there is this new show on Netflix that was recommended
Do
me.
you think reality shows are trying to do extremes and thinking that us as Americans are blah 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 blah?
Anyway,
No.
So,
We could do this whole conversation about reality shows.
but I feel like our points are made very well. But like it's called Terrace House, right? So apparently it's been like a big show in Japan for a while because they have multiple seasons already. But just Netflix bought it or something, or
Okay.
it has rights to it.
Americanized it.
Yeah. Well, no, they just have the rights to produce it.
Oh,
'cause
so
it's-
the show is in
It's a Japanese show.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
it's
okay.
1 year old.
Yeah.
It's
Well, they have
2019.
multiple seasons. So like
Crank them out.
they take place at different parts. So basically they have a house. This one's in Tokyo, the season I'm watching. And there's how many people? Like 6 people, 3 men, 3 women. And they all moved to this house called the Terrace House. It's in downtown Tokyo. They get cars too, and they're Jaguar. Like it's a nice house, super nice cars. But there's no script, there's nothing, and like the passage of time, they actually live there together, but really you check in with them, and then there's like these group of people talking about the actions that they're doing, and that part's really funny, their commentary
It's not seasons. It's different
part. It's they
Different
live in different areas.
and it's different characters too.
Yeah. So then it's just kind of following their lives. And like most of the time with like reality shows that are, American reality shows, it's way over the top, yelling, fighting, like
Which one are
screaming.
you watching?
Tokyo.
Okay.
And This one's not. It's so much more subdued, and I think it's just the culture difference, right? So like we're over the top, we're very energetic, but this is so real. Like maybe they like the same guy, but like one person would be like, you go for it, have fun. Like it's very chill, laid back, like no big fights, nothing. It feels more like I'm a big anime fan too, so it feels like a slice of life. Right. Like where you're watching like it feels like actual reality, but they're all interesting too. Like they're interesting to watch and their dynamics, but it feels like an actual reality TV show. You're watching actual people just go on dates. They actually have their own jobs and stuff that they go and do. Like every once in a while they have a date together.
So it's Friends reality.
No, because it's not. There's no script. There's nothing. Like
I know, but Friends.
Not
is like
every part of the time is super funny, but you also get like real connections. Like whenever somebody leaves the house, like people can leave. They're not voted off. It's not a game show. They're just like, okay, I'm done with the Terrace House. They're like, I'm just done with the Terrace House. You guys goodbye. They leave and they replace them with someone else in the house, and it's just daily life. And it's really interesting because I've never seen anything like it. Right. Because it's nothing like our reality TV shows at all.
Yeah, where there has to be a hook.
Yeah, there has to be some kind of game.
Yeah.
There has to be like crazy sexual tension, like all this. There's none of that. Yeah. Like it's very polite, like very real, and like they become close. Like the guys become close friends. If someone leaves, they cry. Like they're so sad because they're leaving. Everybody misses them. They cook together and eat meals together, and like. It's so different from anything I've seen before, and I'm just addicted. I'm almost done with the season already. And I'm sad because I found out that I got delayed because of coronavirus because it's going on right now.
So it sounds like a recommend then from Jacob.
I definitely recommend it.
I thought you just said like I've been watching it was something stupid.
He just said he doesn't like watching trashy reality.
Yeah, no, but like earlier in our conversation, he goes, I've been watching this pretty trash show called Terrace House.
No, I'm saying...
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised
So I'm saying it's just a reality show. There's not like...
But you like it.
Yeah, but
there's
not...
it's good.
Yeah, there's not
call
like...
it trash.
No, I'm saying there's not like in-depth like... That it's not... There's no storyline. There's nothing that goes into it. It's literal a slice of life versus like reality TV. But they're all interesting enough that... You want to keep watching and find out what happens next. And the commentators, the group of people that comment on things that happen are hilarious. They're so funny. I laughed out loud. No, it's Japanese.
So you're reading and it's funny.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's just
that's the best way.
Because there is like Terrace House. It's like there's one in Hawaii.
Yeah, they're Japanese.
So I didn't know if it always is Japanese.
No, they're all Japanese. Well, it's kind of a spoiler, I guess, but one guy in the show right now is Italian, but he speaks Japanese. So,
So I didn't know if it was all in Japanese.
It's all in Japanese.
Like if they go to Hawaii.
One guy is an NBA player though, who's Japanese. He's in an episode talking about it, or he's going to be in the.
I was
NBA.
gonna say I don't think there is.
He's a basketball player. He's a giant. But
I was trying to think of NBA. I don't think there is.
I highly recommend it if you guys like reality shows, or even if you don't and you want to see something that's different, like it will keep you interested for sure. Like it's so different.
There's like 39 episodes.
And everything, and everything is like so calm, like versus like the high energy of like too much of like reality show. Like no, it's just calm energy. Like they'll just talk to each other on dates and it'll be like this calm music that's in the background. Like it's just literally feels like real life, like at the first actual reality TV show that I've seen.
Right.
So I recommend it if you're interested at all in reality TV shows or slice of life. Watch it.
All right. Well, there's literally only one thing I watched because I watched it while editing the podcast last time. So it's probably why you didn't see me log in on Letterboxd, either of you guys. But I rewatched The Beach Bum while editing the show last time.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I still love it, and
I liked it a lot. It was on my top 10.
Yeah, I still like it a lot, and I know it's not perfect or whatever, but it's one of those movies that you can just throw on. You don't have to pay like 100% attention to. I mean, you'll get more if you do, obviously, but it's just one of those. And
it's really well done.
Yeah, just like it a lot. I don't have much to say because, like I said, I was editing the show during it, trying to watch both, trying to do both. But
I think I said quite a bit about it during our earlier podcast.
Yeah, it's definitely a Harmony Korine movie. So if you're not a fan of Harmony Korine, don't watch it. And if you are, then do watch it. Yeah, most people aren't.
Because all his reviews are pretty bad.
Yeah, he's not a general audience guy. I mean, even some movie buffs don't like Harmony Korine still. But
I think that was the
I
first
definitely
movie
like
I
his-
seen by him.
Yeah.
You didn't watch Spring Breakers?
You need to watch Spring Break.
Oh, I seen Spring
Oh,
Breakers.
yeah.
I love Spring Breakers
Exactly.
too.
I did not like
Okay.
Spring Breakers.
Then you like Harmony Korine.
Yeah.
We need to watch Gummo. That's what we need to watch.
Yeah.
That's like one of his. It's supposed to be one of his better movies. but-
Yeah, I loved Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird. It's like a weird.
That was
head or
one of the
something.
earlier movies that really started me in this whole like indie movie
Yeah,
thing.
Spring
Yeah.
Breakers. Yeah, because everybody went into that thinking it was gonna be one thing.
97.
Yeah, everybody went in thinking it was gonna be one thing, and it was completely different. Which
Mhm.
is just,
Yeah,
I love that.
I was addicted to the style of it.
Just
Where
like
are
Magic
you reading
Mike.
these things that were supposed to be one of his better movies? Who told you that?
People that
6.8,
basically
user.
people that like Harmony. Like I said, a lot of people don't like Harmony Korine, but people that like Harmony Korine really, really like Gummo. And I just know that from reading reviews and listening.
So
to
you
other
haven't seen
podcasts and stuff
Gummo?
like that. I've never seen Gummo.
Okay.
I want to
It's
see
from
it.
19.
Let's watch it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll do it.
Anything for you? I know probably not TV.
Started watching Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. What do
How
you
many
think?
episodes in?
Yeah.
I'm on the third.
Third. Oh, okay.
It's
Because they're pretty. I mean,
fantastic.
they're like an hour long.
Yeah, they're long.
49, 50 minutes.
They're
Whatever.
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm only on the third episode, but
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It just gets. It's
No, I
always
mean,
good.
Update
yeah.
us
I've never-
season by season. Whenever you're finished with this.
yeah, I've never
give us an
been like
update.
against it. Just I've never
Yeah.
had like
I'm
hours
actually.
of time to.
I'm a
because
little-
usually watching movies versus.
Now that we're quarantined,
To be
we have
fair,
all
I'm
the
a-
time in the world.
Yeah, I'm like a little bit like baffled by how many people haven't watched Breaking Bad.
It's a very very slow.
I don't think so because I
Dude,
think
the first couple episodes are like I'm rewatching them and I've watched the first 4,
Yeah.
and this is still like I
But-
can understand why I stopped
like
watching.
even when it came out, it wasn't popular. It was popular when it came to Netflix. I believe. I believe it blew up.
I heard
when
about
you
it like
binged
in
it.
08.
Yeah, I was watching it. I was watching it as it came out, but I think it really blew up once it was on Netflix. People
Well,
started.
it probably seems like that because by the time it came to Netflix, you were older, so everybody your age was watching it and talking about it. But who,
No,
who
I've been
was
watching
thinking-
it since season 1.
It was a pretty
Yeah.
big show. Like
No, I've been watching it since
Overall.
season 1.
I remember it being
Yeah.
like super big around like 4 and 5, probably like when it. I mean, when stuff in the show obviously.
See, that was
really
during the
starts
binge
happening.
era started. Like people started binging
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was still airing in all the way through.
Yeah,
13.
Yeah,
no,
so-
I mean, like it was popular when it was still airing,
Because it
but I
had some of
feel
the
like
highest at the time. It had some of the highest ratings
Yeah.
for the final season.
I just feel like it
ever.
really
Yeah.
blew up once it got to streaming.
It's one of the highest rated TV shows
It should
ever,
be.
if not the highest. I
It
don't
should
know.
be. It
I
has
don't
a,
know
Oh
that's
no, it's not
higher.
number 1. But-
I just don't think you can be like. I don't think they really did anything wrong.
I think the best thing they did is do it in 5 seasons. Like sometimes
No, I mean-
shows draw
Oh,
themselves
too long.
out way
Yeah,
too
for
long.
sure.
Wait
like
till you-
Lost. You were
wait-
just talking about that
Yeah.
yesterday.
But wait
Yeah.
until you get to last season, you'll be like, wow, they really had this literally planned out.
But they
exactly.
did. They did add on with El Camino, which I have not.
Which
seen,
was
so.
good. I highly
The
recommend.
last
If you-
episode is a 9.9
Yeah.
on Breaking Bad.
It's
Heard it's
perfect. It
mixed,
is a
but-
perfect
the last
finale.
The last 3 episodes,
Yeah.
10, 9.7, 9.9.
Well, you're gonna have to take a break from watching that to watch Devs.
Yeah, we have to watch
Because
Devs.
we are
It's last
doing-
episodes just came out.
Yeah.
So we can binge them all now.
We're doing our featured
I'll
review.
probably start today.
Next week is gonna be Devs.
We'll have our first TV series
That's review.
review.
What is it on?
It's on Hulu.
All right.
It's FX, but
We'll do some
Oh, yeah, I
movies
have
too.
FX.
well, it's FX on Hulu now.
If I have FX now, then I don't have to see ads, I think.
Never, rarely, sometimes, always.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that.
Okay, so that one I think should be one, and then Lost Girls is a
Lost
movie
Girls
also.
with Holly Flax.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that we could buy or rent or stream right now that are 2020. But I think for now, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, and Devs, we'll say are the 2 for sure. We'll talk about more. It'll be posted on the Instagram like usual, and we'll go from there.
Maybe I'll watch. Maybe Devs will make me finally watch more Alex Garland films.
Ex Machina, I have it. You can borrow it.
You said never, rarely,
on,
sometimes,
Hulu.
always, and Lost Girls?
No, Devs for sure, and then maybe
Well,
Lost
that's a
Girls.
tease.
There's a couple other like Netflix things that have come out on 2020. So,
All right.
anything else to add?
Mm-mm.
All right.
No, that I can think of.
Email questions to sudsandcinemapodcast@gmail.com. Follow me on Letterboxd and Untapped at the KG Project.
Follow me at Letterboxd and Untapped at Letterboxd. Letterboxd and Untapped
Letter tapped and unboxed.
at JSAL517. That's J, S as in Sam, AL517.
Mine are both Untapped and Letterboxd. Josh_Saldana.
All right. Follow us on Instagram. Give us a like. Give us a review. All those good things.
Look at the picture of our mascot, Layla.
Yep. Our mascot, Layla. She's not here. Dang it. Layla, where are you?
Logo done by DJ Mike Holiday. on all socials.
Give him a follow.
him.
Give him some love during this trying time. I'm sure he could get you some dope art commissioned. He would love to do that right now.
Probably has a lot of time to do it.
Yep. So stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Stay inside. Don't go puke in Rite Aid parking
Yeah,
lots.
please.
And as always,
Cheers, guys.
Stop your running about. It's time you straighten right out. Stop your running around, making trouble in the town. Rudy, a message to you, Rudy, a message to you.
Where's the beer?
in the beer fridge.
You're growing older each day. You want to think of your future, or you might wind up in jail. Then you will suffer. Rudy, a message to you, Rudy, a message to you.